if I meant it, it's not racist.
If I see a black pilot,
You think you're superior actually makes you inferior.
I don't like you. I think you spread hate. I think you spread bigotry. I think you piss a lot of people off. I mean, you're just an awful person. I don't think you really want to debate because you're just here to piss people off and energize your crowd of racists.
what have I ever said that's
Oh, what?
Can you name one thing?
It's called the White Fragility Prayer. This is a psychosocial model that I'm currently developing. It's characterizing a kind of predictive model of what you can expect a white person to articulate if they are found in proximity to racism. It goes, racism exists, but not here. And if it's here, it's not me. And if it was me, I didn't mean it. And if I meant it, it's not racist, or I'm not racist. That's just how it is. It's a way in which no matter how close the racism might actually be in proximity to a person who might in fact be perpetuating racism in some harmful way, there's always an effort to distance oneself from it. I want to give you some examples of what the White Fragility Prayer looks like in action.
Like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Like we have been from Somalia. And
I just want to pause on that point real quick. If he sees a black pilot, he's going to be like, boy, I sure hope they're qualified. I fly a lot. And when I look at these white pilots, I wonder whether or not they were a Nepo hire. I wonder whether or not they got the job simply because somebody liked them, they were white, and they were on the in crowd. It doesn't seem like many of these people are looking for the right person for the job. Looks like they're just looking for the white person for the job. What is it about being white, about having a deficiency in melanin that makes a person more qualified? There's absolutely nothing. And I don't understand how these people don't understand by the mere facet of them propagating this and this faux white supremacy. It shows that they are not superior. It shows that they have an inferior mindset. It's like a catch-22. The fact that you think you're superior actually makes you inferior in thinking. For far too long, they've been handing the jobs to one another. Listen, for those of you who have ever gone to school with white people or worked with white people, you know that there's nothing inherent about whiteness that makes anybody better at anything. As a matter of fact, far too often it makes them lazy because they know that they can get by with their mediocrity. They know that they can steal ideas. They know that they can just slap it up, or their father is golfing with XYZ and they can just slide on through because of connections that other people have been systemically cut out from. Listen, I flew recently and I saw a female pilot and I said, damn, I know she went through a lot to get there in this male-dominated industry, and I clapped and applauded for her. When I see a black pilot, I know what it is that they have gone through. Listen, he's going to talk about diversity and how diversity hasn't made anything better. I go to an Ivy League school right now, and because of the diversity at the school, I've been able to learn about Iran, and how Iran was a much different country 30 years ago. They're Persians. This regime came in and implemented all of this stuff over the Iranians, but that was not their original way of life. Being in a diverse group and surrounding has given me understanding, empathy, access to different people and their stories. I got a chance to learn that Asian people, their parents are very hard on them. That the way that they are brought up is very similar to the way that Black people are brought up. Asian parents are sometimes often cold, that their parents are often very strict and have regimented rules and beliefs and directions that they want their children to go in, and that often Asian children feel underloved. And I didn't know that before going to school in a place where there was diversity. I've learned that this facade that white people are putting up in public is a much different story behind the scenes, that white people are struggling. This is why people like him come out and talk about how these jobs are supposed to be white people's jobs, because he's giving them a scapegoat, because white men were promised a thing in this society. And the society is not delivering the thing that these white men were promised. They were promised that they were going to get a home, a woman that's going to take care of the home, a job that's going to be able to buy the home and take care of all of the bills in the home and the children and all of this other stuff. And when these men are coming out, they're learning it's a much different damn story out there. What I'm learning is that being born black in this country has embedded me with a level of, I want you to hear what it is that I'm saying, please. A level of resilience, a level of the ability to overcome adversity and other things. It has embedded me with the humility of not feeling entitled. It has embedded me with the work ethic, with the ability to overcome, just merely by the facet of growing up black in America. Let me tell you, when you don't have the pounding that this country does to us, you bend and you fold because you are, I won't call you weak, but you haven't been hammered into strength. I was on a healing journey, and on this healing journey, there's some things going on. So I just want you to stop right now and check, make sure that you're still subscribed. And if you were never subscribed, this is your wake up call or your call to action. Make sure that you're subscribed. I was sitting there around the fire, pontificating with a person who was partaking of a grassy herbal substance, right? And we were talking, and I looked up at the sky and I saw this really tall, those of you who are in Florida, you know, you see those palm trees. But in California, the trees, they are buildings high. And when I looked at that palm tree, I said that that tree is able to stand tall and strong because as it grew, when the wind blew, especially those of you in Florida and you have your hurricane seasons, when the wind blew, that stalk had to grow tough and strong for that tree to grow up out of the earth and stand tall. So many of these people, they're not embedded with that, and they flake and they fold because they haven't been hammered like a katana. So when he talks about how there are people who are the softest, who have dealt with the least adversity, that crumble when trouble strikes, that these people are better equipped, you must be mad. Let's continue forward with his incoherent diatribe.
And from the third world, all of a sudden they say diversity is a strength. Is it really? Is diversity a strength in Minneapolis? Is that really a strength? No. You know what is a strength? The unity we find in being an American.
Diversity is not a strength? How many of you out there have ever been in diverse situations where you learned something about somebody else and it helped to soften your heart? Throw up the number one. Let's see. Because I know that going to school with people from all over the world, I have learned an appreciation. I have learned tolerance. I have learned to open up my heart, my mind, my spirit, my psyche. When I see Asian mamas and papas out there down in Chinatown, I think about the students that I go to school with and the journey that they have gone through to become an Asian mama or papa. I think about those things. I don't feel the xenophobia or the twinges thereof that I felt before. If anything, I feel a familiarness because I see what was produced from the fruit of these diverse loins. I see that. And here comes the vote coming in. Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Not in being Muslim or in being whatever faction or tribe that you come from. And yet people go around sloppily saying, you're racist, you're white supremacist. It is so destructive to our dialogue. It's destructive to us coming together as a country, and there's nothing to support it whatsoever.
The psychosocial model characterizes what are very
This person right here, his name is Julius A Doyle. He's on Instagram.
clear, cut and paste textbook examples of racism that are unambiguously clear, and yet predictable responses would be attempts to insert any kind of barrier that allows them to distance themselves from racism, even when it's their own behavior. It's never who we are, it's never where we are, we're never willing to admit that, in fact, we are racist. The racism it exists, but it's always out there somewhere. It's always someone else's problem. It's always just out of reach, and we're totally against racism, but the racism is never where we are.
So, quick, what has he said that's all of that stuff promotes the idea of white body supremacy, that there's something about the white body that is superior to other people's bodies. Hey Knockout, thanks for watching. This video filled your cup, so be sure to return the favor by making sure that you're subscribed